Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into some really significant numbers and events that are shaping the national conversation right now. We're going to connect the dots between the latest presidential approval ratings, the ongoing unrest in Minnesota, and the wider economic ripples that are starting to be felt across the country. It's a complex picture, but by breaking it down, we can get a clearer understanding of what's really happening. So, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the polls. Recent data shows a noticeable dip in the president's approval rating. We are seeing it drop from a relatively stable position to its lowest point in several months. Now, a single poll is just a snapshot, but when multiple polls from different sources start showing the same trend, analysts take notice. The key question is, what's driving this decline? While there are always multiple factors at play, from legislative efforts to foreign policy, many are pointing to the administration's handling of recent domestic issues as a major contributor to this shift in public sentiment. It seems voters are paying very close attention to how leadership responds during times of crisis. This brings us to the situation in Minnesota. The state has become a focal point of national attention due to widespread protests and civil unrest. What started as localized demonstrations has now captured the nation's gaze, sparking a much larger conversation about justice, accountability, and the role of law enforcement. The images and stories coming out of Minnesota are powerful and have elicited strong emotional responses from all sides. The administration's response to this has been under intense scrutiny. Public statements, policy decisions, and the overall tone taken by the White House are being analyzed by everyone, from cable news pundits to everyday citizens. How the federal government chooses to engage with state and local authorities, and with the protesters themselves, is being seen as a critical test of leadership, and it's directly impacting public opinion, as reflected in those approval numbers we just talked about. Now, let's zoom out and look at the economic consequences. This isn't just a political or social story, it's a major economic one too. Unrest, no matter the cause, creates uncertainty. And the one thing markets and businesses dislike most is uncertainty. In the affected areas in Minnesota, we are seeing immediate economic impacts. Businesses have had to close, supply chains are disrupted, and consumer confidence in those local economies has taken a hit. This local disruption has a way of creating a ripple effect. Investors nationwide watch these events closely. Widespread social instability can make them hesitant to invest, which can slow down economic growth on a larger scale. Furthermore, the government's response has broader economic implications. If the federal response is seen as escalating the situation rather than calming it, it can further dampen consumer and investor confidence. The stock market often reacts to social instability, and prolonged unrest can lead to volatility. We are also seeing debates about federal funding and resources for the affected areas. How these funds are allocated and whether they are sufficient to help rebuild and restore economic activity will be a key story to watch in the coming months. The economic recovery is already a delicate process, and events like these add another layer of complexity. The intersection of social issues and economic stability is undeniable. So, to wrap it all up, what we are seeing is a chain reaction. A decline in presidential approval ratings can't be viewed in a vacuum. It's closely linked to the public's perception of the administration's handling of critical events, like the ongoing unrest in Minnesota. And that unrest, in turn, isn't just a social issue. It carries significant economic consequences that can ripple out from the local community to affect the national economy. Understanding how these three elements, public opinion, social stability, and economic health, are interconnected is crucial to making sense of the current moment. It's a dynamic situation, and we'll be keeping a close eye on how it develops. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Remember to be respectful of one another. If you found this analysis helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the issues that matter. See you in the next one.